I think the quotes on Jalen, I think that there are frustrations within a team that build up continually. And I think Jalen gets a lot of the highlighting of that, again, because he's the quarterback. Me and Lane Johnson one year, I'll put this out there. Me and Lane Johnson one year at the end of Chip Kelly's career, Lane made a comment in the media, said something along the lines of, we're the up-tempo offense is way too hard on us in practice, and we're working too difficult, and guys are getting fatigued. And I remember reading that, and I'm like, dude, and I went out and said something in the media and said, what does Lane know? Lane's only been with the Philadelphia Eagles. How does he know what it feels like to do other practices? He's only practiced with Chip Kelly. So he's saying something and parroting something from what other guys are saying. And, to be honest, I think we're pretty pampered here in Philadelphia. And Lane then made another comment. Lane and I didn't talk for an entire offseason.
Wow.
Lane is like one of my best friends. I love that guy. And this is part of being on a team. There are so many ups and downs. And I've gotten into yelling matches with Jeff Stoutland, a guy that I consider almost like a father. This thing brings out emotions and sides of people because you all want to win so bad.
The stakes are so high.
And, I hate seeing this. And the only way out of this, and I mean this fully, and the only way, you talk to people. You be accountable. You try and work this out. It's not that much different than what you do in your marriage, right? You try to be accountable to what you're doing wrong, what you're failing in. You try to take accountability to alleviate the burden off of other people. These are the ways you maintain relationships and maintain a team functionality. And I think that, there's been reports of this over 2 or 3 years, and the team has still been massively successful. I think that by and large, the body of work that Jalen has put out there, you can't deny, in my opinion. And I think that you have to continue to work through this, and the only way to do that is to be accountable and to try and work together and maintain these relationships in a healthy way.
So, Peggy, what I would say this is, when Jason Kelce goes and speak his truth about accountability, why is it that when Cam Newton says in reference the same things of accountability, it's misinterpreted or the mark is missed?
It's who's saying it, though.
Understood.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that because I hold the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith to a high standard, so much so that it is disappointing to get what they are delivering. And it's not consistent enough. So when you hear quotes like the stakes are getting too high, but there's no denying that whether it's he say, she say, the truth is where there's smoke, there's
fire. That's true.
And when that point is made, and you start to say to yourself, you can't deny that the pressure is mounting in Philadelphia. So when I say it's a ticking time bomb, games like what we've seen, the only remedy that the Philadelphia Eagles have been able to have throughout these stints of underperforming performances, they found ways to win. But if you take away winning and now you're losing, now you're cutting on the lights and seeing the snakes and the roaches and the rodents and the rats and the mices. And I don't want to give analogies of bad rodent, but it's just, it's there. It's abundantly clear. So when you have a statistic that says the Philadelphia Eagles is one of the teams that lead the NFL in 3 and outs, that's a statistic that you would expect from the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, that's fact.
That's a statistic that you would expect from the Tennessee Titans. That's a statistic that you would expect from the Las Vegas Raiders. And guess what? They down there too. Along with the Philadelphia Eagles. So, Gilly, I'm not going to celebrate when y'all lose. What I'm going to say is now that I have your attention that y'all did lose, not something that y'all have been able to not do a lot. Understand, bro, I'm not coming at you from a lens of hatred. I'm coming at you through the lens of accountability. You're doing the bare minimum with the utmost. And when is that going to click for the offensive side of the football?
Yeah. I would say this, though, and it's just a classic quote. It's like, to whom much is given, much is required.
Correct.
And that's more, sort of speak to this example of Jalen Hurts, man. I see Jalen Hurts as a seesaw, so to speak. And so he's in this balancing act of trying to make sure the running game and the running attack with Saquon Barkley is fruitful. And then you got to do the passing attack with Jaylen Brown and Devontae Smith and making sure that's fruitful as well. And it's like he's like in the middle of like, okay, either we're going to run the ball and run the offense this way, either we're going to pass the ball like this way. Like nobody's going to be happy, right? And is this something normal that quarterbacks deal with, or is just because he has the talent on all areas?
Every single quarterback has this unspoken rule of managing egos on the offensive side of the football.
He's a counselor, so to speak.
It's no different. He's a therapist. He's a shrink. He's a psychologist. You have these off-the-record conversations. Hey, bro, I got you. Hey, dog.
But do you blame him or you blame the offensive coordinator, or it's both?
It's a combination of both because now understand that everybody's not going to be happy, even through team success. We've seen that in Philly.
Yeah.
But the thing that's most frustrating is Philadelphia Eagles going into week 12 or 13 does not have no offensive identity. And we're in the third quarter of the season.
Yeah.
And when is somebody going to hold them accountable to that? It's like, yo, what is Philly really good at? Because this time last year, it was abundantly clear. Saquon Barkley is on a run that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
Well, where's that Saquon at? Are we featuring him?
I feel like he had to take the back seat.
But to what?
To somewhat of a passing attack, which is not, that's up and down depending on the game.
That's my point. What is he taking the back seat to? Because one game we're trying to feature Saquon. The next game we're trying to feature Aiden. The next game we're trying to feature Jack. The next game we're trying to feature Devon. It's like, bro, what do we got? Like you got so many individuals that it's like, yo, it could be a distraction trying to keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, bro, everything goes and runs through number one, Jalen Hurts. If that's our workhorse, even though we have access to a Saquon, even though we have access to AJ, we have access to everything goes through number one.
So do the Eagles find their identity against the Bears this week?
I'm going to say it once again. I hope so.
Yeah.
But 1 week isn't a true depiction of what's to be.
And can they make a run in the playoffs without having a clear identity?
What we've seen the Philadelphia Eagles do, the answer to your question is yes. What we've seen the Philadelphia Eagles do better than no other team probably in league history is find ways to win.
Yeah.
If this was a statistic to be had, they probably lead the league in ugly wins more than any other Super Bowl champion known to man.
That's real.
Because when you look at certain Super Bowl champions, they had an identity. Man, they was good at it. They had an unbelievable defense. Man, they had an unbelievable run.
You can pinpoint what they do well.
You cannot pinpoint what the Philadelphia Eagles are really good at. Not the 2025, 2026 season. And we're in the third quarter of the season.
But does that make it harder for somebody to cue in on what to stop?
Nah, man, they stopping them. So obviously, you ain't scored 8 of the last opportunities that you could.
Yeah, that hot 3 and that's
Come
it.
on, bro. Come on, dog.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
Yeah.
Like this is the thing. When you see a team struggle in the Detroit Lions, have we seen them struggle this year? We still know Jahmyr Gibbs is their feature. Huh?
Yep.
Amon Ross, Jameson was. They still find ways to have an identity. When you see Matthew Stafford and the brilliant play that he's been displaying over the last 3 weeks, it hasn't always been 300-yard games, 250-yard games. It's been the ability to delegate, or in my words, it's the ability to manage the game at an elite level, giving guys opportunities. But everything goes through who in the Los Angeles Rams?
Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
So now, if I'm Kevin Patullo, I'm starting to say, hey, dog, everything's going through number one. He's well and capable. Let's stop trying to everything goes through number one.
Yeah.
Let's involve him in the run game. He's well and capable. All right? When he needs a breather, we're going to now insert Saquon Barkley. Let's put the ball in number one's hands. Let's stop all this experimenting, and let's get an identity, because you're going to need an identity going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's what scares me the most.
We have to turn the tide to them, the Cowboys, the team that just had the largest comeback win since 2023. What do you see the identity of the Cowboys, and do you feel like they're getting hot at the right time? Like, we got to give them some praise too, because they did come back against a very good Eagles team. So what does this say about the Cowboys?
The Cowboys match up with any team in the NFL.
You're saying they can?
They can. They showed that.
Is this on paper or this is on the field?
This is on paper. This is on the field. This is what we expect from them. All we were asking the Cowboys or Jerry Jacoby Jones to do is give me a defense that is capable to allow Dak Prescott to have a chance.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, you're talking about overperforming or ahead of the expectation curve. Yeah. George Pickens.
The boy balling out. There's a lot of questions. It's a lot of questions
out of control
in the offseason. It gotta make
I'm
sense.
telling you this because somebody asked me this recently. They said, bro, I ain't never really seen you root for the Dallas Cowboys like I seen you do it. And I said, you want to know why? It's because the C1N alumni and George Pickens is now inserted on that team.
That's real.
Now I'm invested. And to see him thrive the way he's been thriving, in essence, on his contract year. Thanks. Oh, my goodness. I love it.
Yeah.
I like it. I want some more of it. And now when you start to see CeeDee Lamb having the cases of the drops, and I don't know if it's just
3 drops last game.
With the statistic that is extremely alarming is CeeDee Lamb has anywhere from 7 to 8 drops this year, more than any other time in his career. Out of those drops, 6 of those drops, if not 7 of those drops, comes from the Philadelphia Eagles game. He had 4 in week 1. In this past week, he had 3. But who went flawless with targets and catches?
The boy Pick.
Oh, George Pickens. Mr. Crash Out.
George of the Jungle.
Mighty George.
He looking like he always was a number 1, but it's like.
Bro, he's looking like, oh my, what do we call it?
Yeah.
What do we call it? And that right there is something that I have become even more enamored with. It's like, do you feature CD more than you feature? Hey, Kevin Patullo, take notes. Because even though you start to see 2 great receiver tandems, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, they eat. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, they eat. When you start to see George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, they eat. So why can't Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown eat?
But do they have the same running attack?
It don't matter.
You got a different beast in that backfield, though.
See, you keep trying to find, but BBL,
But you gotta feed,
Dr. Miami,
bro. You feeding a dog puppy
Listen,
child,
bro.
and another one need like grade A.
And Devontae Smith and AJ Brown isn't grade A.
No, and they are. I think in a passing game, but in that backfield, what's different from Saquon versus any other team was running back, bro. That's it, bro.
You got to choose a side. You got to pick your poison.
Yeah,
And that's the thing. We got so much access. You're trying to make everybody happy. Stop that. It's going through number one. That's our identity.
Yeah.
The buck stops with number one, Jalen Hurts. Allow him to be the game changer that he is.
Yeah.
And we haven't consistently asked him to do that. But if I'm Kevin Patullo, going into this week, I'm saying, hey, bro, we got to get number one involved.
Yeah.
Because he's well and capable of doing it. And if that happens, that identity is created, no matter what it is, that's when we start to see a shift for the Philadelphia Eagles.
So real quick, all right, you got Cowboys sitting at 5-5-1, Chiefs sitting at 6-5. Do you feel like the same Cowboys from this past week will show up? Will they beat the Chiefs, or what's your thoughts there?
They need to beat the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. They can beat the Chiefs. In order for the Chiefs to win this game, they have to insert their running game in Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Now, if you start to have a back and forth game, we've seen Patrick Mahomes or the Kansas City Chiefs struggle in those type of games this year. Right?
They're not the Chiefs of the old that we know of.
This past week was the first time that they won a game that came down to a one-score game.
Exactly.
Well, last year, they was 12-0. Mm-hmm. This year, they're 1-5.
Yeah.
Right?
It's trouble.
So, I mean, the statistics is what the statistics is, Peggy.
Yeah.
We'll be locked in on tonight's matchup for sure.
And what you got going on with the Eagles versus the Bears? Who you got winning?
I will be more intrigued to see how Caleb Williams responds to an opponent like the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
Because they've been riding high on late fourth quarter comebacks. But you can't do that versus the Philadelphia Eagles, bro. Especially when they're coming off of a game where they have to prove.
Yeah, they mad now.
Oh, yeah. They done slapped somebody in their face. They done led with
They're
a mama
looking
joke.
to get their lick back on somebody.
You dig what I'm saying?
And it might be Chicago.
I'm curious to see how Caleb Williams performs versus a tier 1 team in the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's right.